Hello, all. Welcome to One Pitch Catch. In this one, we're going to talk about the squad announcements from West Indies and India ahead of the Test series that starts in a few days' time. Uh, Thought we would try and go through some of the selections because they seemed a little weird, especially when you consider what's happened in the past and what's coming up. I think the first couple of things that stand out for me are obviously Ravindra Jadeja being promoted as a vice captain. That's primarily because Rishabh Pant is ruled out after his injury in England. Um, the other interesting thing was selecting Jasprit Bumrah. He's pegged to, I don't know if they have announced it for the first test or both tests. I think it's for both
Both
tests.
tests.
And he's been selected. I don't see the point, right? I mean, he's just going to have finished playing the Asia Cup. India was pretty much guaranteed to be in the final. And this tournament starts a couple of days after the Asia Cup final ends. So if you preserve him in cotton wool, then there has to be consistency in that approach across tournaments, which is clearly not the case here. So I and this was going to be a very good opportunity to try out somebody else, like give Anshul Kamboj another exposure or bring in other seamers that are still on the fringes and have them work with Siraj and Prasidh and Akashdeep and things like that, right? I just didn't think Bumrah needed to be part of the squad. I'm pretty sure, right? Just given how West Indies cricket is at the moment and they can't even play properly at home, how are they going to play away? In terms of what are the chances that they're actually going to create an upset? Yeah, can happen. We saw that with New Zealand last year, but New
I
Zealand and West Indies are definitely not comparable.
True. That's exactly the reason that they have picked Bumrah for both the tests. I feel Jaga after the New Zealand debacle, because they don't want. I mean, in fact, Agarkar has even told that it's not acceptable to again happen the New Zealand way. So I think that is the reason they have picked. In fact, if India, I am, I mean, you are right. Need not have Bumrah. Need not have. If he's going to miss two tests in England, he can as well miss these two
Yeah.
tests. So. And I also feel if India wins the first test, I don't think Bumrah will play the second test. To be on the safer
Hmm.
side, they've announced him for both the tests. I feel so it is better because there are more cricket coming up. We have South
South
Africa,
Africa series.
South Africa test is there, and T20 World Cup is coming in February, right? So all
Yeah.
that, considering all that, I think he may not play the second test if we finish West Indies in the first test. So that is something. But and also I think that I mean talking of fast bowlers, I think Shami played a couple of Duleep Trophy games, one or two games. Shami,
Yeah.
there is no discussion of Shami. I don't know. Nobody has ever told anything. I think Shami could have been a uh, good option to try after his injury
Yeah. Correct.
layoff.
Yeah.
Given that it is West Indies and it is at home, it would have been a good opportunity for Shami to get back. I don't know if there are any fitness
I think
concerns
he's from whatever Ajit Agarkar said, it was probably around the number of games he has played
okay.
after coming back from injury. Maybe they just feel that that's not a sufficient enough volume. But
Okay.
I don't know how that's going to get solved. Of course, the season is on, so maybe he will continue to play in the domestic series as it starts. The Ranji Trophy will start soon. There's other tournaments like the Moinuddin, etc. I've already and even the what's the one in Chennai? Buchi Babu. I think all those things did happen.
Hmm.
So I'm pretty sure they're setting him up for the season. We'll see. At some point of time, maybe his age also comes into the picture, and you already have a different set of bowlers coming through the ranks. Maybe he's not going to be considered also. That possibility is also there. But I also feel like what about somebody like Abhimanyu Ishwaran or like he pretty much went, I think he's gone through like four tours so far without playing a test. And again, this was a good opportunity, right? You pretty much know Yashasvi Jaiswal is a permanent thing for the foreseeable future. KL Rahul is also going to be there. In fact, KL Rahul, you can probably send him at 3 or 4 or 5 also. Okay, four is with Shubman, but you can put him in later and still play Abhimanyu Ishwar. And again, this is a missed opportunity to find out. Okay, it's only two tests. Sometimes you may just have a bad run of play in the four innings that you get, but it's fine. You still try somebody out, right? I think the problem is that because each of these World Test Championship tests carry points, the willingness to experiment and bring in some of the fringe players has gone for a toss unless absolutely needed. Like if there's a couple of injuries, then the newer players are coming in, like we saw with Anshul Kamboj in the England series. But I really think that Abhimanyu, at least, we can keep Karun Nair aside, but I really think Abhimanyu should have been part of the squad. You could have always given KL Rahul a break, saying, you're anyway going to be in, you can come back later, and things like that.
I mean, exactly. I mean, even Sai Sudarshan could have been given a break, and Rahul can bat
Yeah,
at three. In fact, Sai Sudarshan didn't do so well in England. I
correct.
mean, to be honest, for all this the
Promise, basically.
promise through T20 cricket, he has not done so well. So I actually Rahul can bat at number three, and Abhimanyu Ishwaran could have been tried because he's gone on so many tours. I mean, I don't think if he's going to go back to play for Bengal or India, what is going to be his motivation? I don't know.
Right.
I think is we are destroying a good batsman. I feel. And apart from that, now Devdutt Padikkal has come in for Karun Nair.
Yeah.
I think it's a fair selection call. I feel happening in India, and the way Karun Nair did not meet expectations in the England tour. I think, I mean, you and I telling this is fine, but I felt it was odd for Agarkar to come out to the press and say that
Yeah.
we expected more from Karun
Expected more.
Nair. He didn't meet our expectations, so we had to move away from him. Is something that I feel that we need
Yeah.
not have expressed it openly to the press, because we all know once you drop Karun Nair
Correct.
and bring in
It's
Devdutt
why.
Padikkal
Yeah.
or X or Y, we know that why Karun Nair was not picked. I feel that I mean this kind of I don't think it's transparent. See, I kind of feel it's unprofessional more than anything. I feel
Yeah. I
say that
mean, either on the one hand, you don't speak about something at all,
uh,
or you're over transparent. Like Bumrah will only play 3 tests. Karan no, it didn't give us enough. Like it can't be in such extremes, right? I mean,
exactly in the
because
in the
I
New Zealand
actually
series.
think the Jadeja's bowling was not good in England at all. The reason I think he still is in the squad is because of his batting. Otherwise,
Yes.
as a bowler, he was pretty pathetic. So, in that sense, will you also say Jadeja didn't live up to our expectations as a bowler? No, you didn't say
No,
that,
nobody.
right?
I mean,
Whereas
even
that's the
after the New
truth.
Zealand loss, nobody said that Ashwin and Jadeja didn't
Yeah,
bowl the way we expected.
correct. Yeah.
So, I mean, so it is. I think it is not
Yeah, it's
right
a
to
little
come out
uncharitable.
and
Yeah.
tell that about Karun. Though I'm not fighting here to pick Karun. Yes, Karun
Yeah.
probably doesn't deserve
Should
another
have done
bat.
better. Yeah.
You don't have to say that openly, I feel. So I don't
But
know
I
what.
think the other piece to it is the conditions, right? I mean, given those conditions, when very few batsmen were actually scoring volumes of runs, what he provided was probably more than what could have happened given the conditions. Now, if you take him and put him in conditions that are better for batting, he may actually do well. So there's an argument in that direction also. I mean, you pick somebody for a away series and he gets 4 games, and the conditions are very, very bowler friendly for the most part. And is it fair to blame him? Not necessarily. Yes, he should have done better given his experience and he's scored runs in the past. He's coming in good form, but you should do both. You should also put him into a home series and then take a decision saying, okay, look, we gave you an opportunity for 4 tests here. We've given you 2 tests. You're clearly not living up to it. But basing this just on an difficult away series was a little harsh, I think.
I mean, two things, Jaga. I think, yes, I agree to your point of anybody has to be given an away test, away series, and a home series. Yes. I mean, don't decide anybody based on home series alone or
Yeah,
away
yeah.
series alone. But at the same time, the England series was not that difficult for batsmen, Jaga. This was not so, it was not the earlier England tours where it was bowler friendly conditions. This time it was more batsman friendly
Yeah,
than
that's
bowler
because of
friendly.
England's approach, right?
Ah,
But the point I'm making is that there seemed to be a specific role that he had in terms of making sure that there was no collapse right at the top, along with the openers, so that you could have your Rishabh and Shubman come in and cash in later. To that extent, he did his job,
yeah,
eventually culminating in a 50. So that's why I
yes.
thought that given that he had done what was expected, at least like if in a corporate terms, he was probably borderline between partially meets and successfully meets. So you give them a little bit more of an opportunity.
Yeah, I think you have a point in terms of giving. I mean, especially given this is only against West Indies and
Yeah.
at home, definitely, probably yes, he could have had two more chances. But now I don't know. Now with,
Yeah. Now it's pretty much you
now
can.
it's pretty much
I am
done. I
pretty
think.
sure
How
he
do you
should.
think? I mean, I don't think if Devdutt Padikkal is also going to play in the 11 now, given that
Yeah, probably not. Yeah.
probably not, because now, I mean, Jadeja, Akshar, Kuldeep, Washington, all four of them might
Yeah.
play. All four
Yeah.
spinners
Exactly.
with the three people who can bat very well also. So I
I
think
mean,
I
he may
don't.
probably come into the second test if it's 1-0 up at that time, then they may be willing to just bring him in because he's not an unknown commodity.
Yeah, he's not.
The
He's played
challenge is
tests in
always
India.
bringing in an unknown commodity.
He's got a 60 odd in one of the guest
Yeah,
tests versus England in India last time.
correct. Yeah.
So that also is there. But so let us see. I mean, because now they have selected Nitish Reddy also now. I mean, of course,
Yes.
no Shardul, Nitish Reddy also. So it will be interesting to see the 11 combination on the first day
I
of
mean, for all you know,
match.
they'll go with Bumrah and Nitish Reddy as the seam bowlers and four spinners.
Yeah, that
It's
is
quite
fine.
likely.
That is pretty fine, I feel. And then the five batsmen is Yashasvi Jaiswal.
Yeah.
Um, yes, five
KL
batsmen will be
Rahul.
Yashasvi Jaiswal, KL Rahul, Sai Sudarshan, Gill, and Dhruv Jurer.
Yeah.
That
Correct.
is
Yeah,
fine.
you
So,
need a
which
keeper.
means
Yeah.
Devdutt Padikkal may not get a chance in the 11.
Yeah, he may not. Yeah. And in terms of West Indies squad selection, I think it was pretty much on expected lines. Craig Braithwaite had already been dropped. I think it's probably in the last test of the Australia series that he was
Yes,
dropped. West
yes.
Indies was in pretty bad shape anyway. It's going to be a good opportunity for them to show that they can actually still compete, although I really doubt it. But they're saying all the right things, saying if New Zealand can win in India, so can we, and things like that. But they're different teams and skills altogether. What's probably sad news for them is Shamar Joseph is out due to an injury, which would really hurt from a bowling perspective because he's obviously been among the most exciting bowling talents in the last 2 to 3 years time frame. We'll see. I don't expect this to be a very competitive series, but then you never know.
I mean, that is what you're expected to say. I mean, if New Zealand can do it, we can also do it. That is something that you expect from anybody to say. But the skill levels and the capabilities of the adaptability to play spin for West Indies
Okay.
batsmen versus New Zealand batsmen is so different. And also the
Technique,
quality of the
basically.
spinners that they brought
Yeah,
also was very good.
yeah, absolutely. I think we can say the only common thing between West Indies and New Zealand right now is they are both islands. That's all. Otherwise, you can't compare yourselves.
Um, that's true.
Anyway, so good. We'll look forward to that series again starting in probably a few days. I think it starts on the second or something like that.
Yes, yes.
And then obviously this sets it up for the South Africa Test series that starts in November. We'll see. We'll see how those two tests go. Two Test series are always a little weird. But then on the other hand, if they are actually one-sided that it's 2-0, then we're like, okay, thank you. It is only a two Test series. So anyway, cool. We'll come back ahead of that series anyway and talk a little bit more as it progresses. So until then, thanks a lot and thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Chirag.
Bye bye. Leave your comments and subscribe. Bye.